Welcome everyone. This short video will cover financial aid resources and how you access them, particularly as online students. So the first thing you need to know is how do you get financial aid information. So there's two main ways. One is their website, which I'm now going to share my screen and show you how that works. So the website is actually SFA, which stands for Student Financial Aid. So it's sfa.lsua.edu. They are off the main LSUA webpage, but it's easier if you actually have the direct link. You can get to it under the student link if you're on the direct lsua.edu site. A couple of key points about it. The office is actually located in Abrams Hall, which is our main administration building. You can see their phone number directly here. They do have a fax number in case you have to fax certain documents, and they have an email address as well as a contact us form, which you can use. Their site has a lot of information specifically about how satisfactory academic progress works. I strongly recommend you review that carefully if you are getting federal financial aid. There are certain progress measures you have to meet in order to stay eligible for financial aid to be able to receive those funds. There's also explanations of types of aid, students that may be qualified for veterans benefits, and then there's another of forms and those kinds of things that you can look for. There are mistakes to avoid is actually a very good site as well, because these are the common things that students do that cause a delay in their financial aid. So you may want to make sure that you're actually reading through these before you fill out your FAFSA or before you apply for aid. So one of the other sites that I want you to be aware of is our knowledge base, which is at lsua.desk.com. That site has a host of important information and documents about how to use all the resources that are available to students, whether they're on campus or online. Our financial aid system that you work in to determine whether your documents are in and if you qualify and what your funds are, that system is called NetPartner. And if you search for NetPartner, there is a document called Understanding Financial Aid. I'm just going to open that up quickly. To get to financial aid, you're going to log into your MyLSUA site. And this is the older site, but on our new MyLSUA page, if you're using the new site, under the menu at the top right, under your student menu, it says View Financial Aid, and that makes it a little easier. You don't have to remember that it's called NetPartner. If you're using the old system, that is how it's referenced. So, some of the things that you need to be aware of when you first log into that link to View Financial Aid, there's a big long splash page that has some information in it. At the bottom there's a Continue to NetPartner button. You do want to read that splash page at least the first time each year when you notice that it changes, because they're going to put information about key dates and things that you would need to know. Once you get into NetPartner, a couple of things you need to pay attention to is what year is it in. During spring, about this time of year where I am now, it's not that important because usually the default year is the one that it's going to come to. When we get into summer and you're actually doing summer work and getting ready for the next fall, it's very important you pay attention to that year. Our summer terms are trailing terms. So summer 2016 actually was in the 15-16 year, and fall 2016 is in the 16-17 year. So you need to make sure you're looking at the right year based on what time you're trying to get aid for, what semester or terms. The way the system works, it's very similar to self-service in that you have tabs that you need to work with. So you have a home tab, documentation, and messages when you first have submitted a FAFSA or when you first applied for aid. Under the documentation tab, you need to check this frequently until you've actually received your aid refund or your bill has been paid. So this will list any of the documents that you may need. Some students get selected for verification, others do not. You may have one document here, you may have 8 documents here. So you just need to look and see, and your goal is to make sure that the status for all of these says received or complete. These links, if they are blue, they are hyperlinks and they go to PDF web forms you can fill in and submit online. So there's no need to come to campus. You can do all of this remotely, but you do have to stay on top of it and make sure that you're providing the information that's requested. The other tab you want to check frequently is called Messages. And on this document, there's actually a list of the sample messages you might get and what they mean, what they might be there for. So it's important that you look to those. Once you've turned in all your documents, it's been reviewed, and your aid has been awarded, you've been determined to be eligible, you will see different tabs show up on your page. And so you need to check the Awards tab as well as the Accept Awards tab. So the Awards tab is actually just showing you the amounts. But when you view this, that does not by itself accept the awards. You would have to go to the Accept Awards tab in order to say, yes, this is the aid I want to receive. The page will look something like this, and you would need to actually change the drop-down box from pending to either accepted or declined, and we ask that you do that for us. However, if you leave it in pending, they just will never award it. So the fact that you qualify for it does not mean you've received it until you actually accept it, so that they can post that to your account and make those funds available to you. Some students decide to go to other schools or change their mind, so we're not going to post this to your account until you've actually accepted it. So there's some other references going back to the student financial aid web pages, or some other pages you have here that give you information about the different types of loans and things. Another critical area that you do need to be aware of with financial aid is that you can log into self-service to actually see that the award has made it from the financial aid system to your fee bill. So your aid will show up as anticipated aid until it is actually sent for deposit to your account or a check is mailed to you, whichever you prefer. We strongly recommend you do the direct deposit. You will get those funds on the day they're processed instead of waiting for the mail. And it is it's faster, and it's actually a lot easier for staff. It's less information that has to be handled manually. So we recommend you do that, and you set up your banking information on your MyLSU page as well. If you want to see your actual award amount, you log into self-service and click the Finances tab. I cannot show you that because I'm not a student, but on your Finances tab, you can view your balance and then your balance summary, and you have to choose the period, and that's the name self-service uses for semester. So all of our online students are going to choose semesters that end in a number. So it'd be fall 2, fall 3, spring 2, spring 3, something like that. Once you choose it, you would hit update or submit, whichever the button says, and that'll update the information for that particular period. If your financial aid amount is more than your fee bill, so you're going to get a refund, and we can anticipate that, but we haven't received the money yet. What we will do is actually make a credit available to you in the bookstore in advance, or whenever we're able to, so that you can get your books without having to have cash if that's beneficial to you. You're not required to purchase your books from the bookstore, but you can see from the bookstore link and from that purchase textbooks link, you will be able to see what books are required and exactly what they cost. You can lease them online, rent them online, you can do a lot of stuff, or you can purchase either the electronic or text version. You can choose to have them shipped to your home, or you can come pick them up at the bookstore, whatever you prefer. But it's important that you look, the way that shows up on self-service on your on your balance summary is it will say bookstore allowance. And so you will have a bookstore allowance amount out there. If you use all of it, then that is deducted from the refund that you would be getting above and whatever your financial aid award was. If you don't use it all, or if you don't use any of it, when the time period expires for bookstore purchases on financial aid, whatever's left of that money comes back to your account and will be included in the refund that you receive. Typically, refunds come a couple of weeks into the semester, so that's why we have to make that, or feel that it's important to make that bookstore allowance available to you, because it is vital that you have your textbooks before the first day of class. You need to have that information because these 7-week online classes go very fast. There's lots of reading, and you cannot afford to get behind. It is very difficult to catch up. So we have lots of resources we've made available to you. Our financial aid office works very hard to make this information so that you can be successful in school and make these resources timely so that you can be in school. The key to that is you have to apply early, and you have to check your status often so that you make sure we have everything we need to do that. So remember, the financial aid office is located at Abrams Hall. That is the administration building. They will accept emails 24 hours a day. They will respond to the emails Monday through Friday when they have staff in the office, and they respond best and can help you fastest if you will email them from your LSUA email address. If you have any questions, email financialaid@lsua.edu, or you can email me at online@lsua.edu, and that will come directly to me. I hope you have a great day.